Hunt 41 is a celebration of American waterfowl hunting. The 41 species of ducks and geese are the roadmap for us to tell the stories of the various regions, styles of hunting, and most importantly, the people that representing this great pursuit of ours. This is the original series, The Chase for the 41.
Texas is compared with that of the United States, we realize the tremendous expanse of our second largest state. Which begins in 1519 to call the Republic of Texas, the Southern Confederacy, and the United States.
We set up on this loafing pond that a bunch of geese had been using, and the geese never showed up, but dude, the teal showed up, and like, I think there was 10 of us, and like the first flock of teal come in, and they came in and balled up at like 20 yards right when I called the shot, and we killed like 27 out of the first like go. It was like, holy cow. Like, I'm from Colorado, so when I come down here and they call it winter, it feels like Colorado is like fall season, you know, it's not cold. The hunting is awesome. You know, the hunting is really great, especially the Sandhill Crane hunting. That's kind of, I'd say, the staple of West Texas, just because there's such a liberal season with it. You know, it's 3-month-long season. You could shoot 3 a day per person. In a million years, would have guessed that I'd be a Sandhill Crane guide. But I love it. You know, it's really cool. I've been able to have some of my lifelong buddies come down and shoot cranes. My dad's come down and shot cranes, you know, and if I'd have never started guiding them, and I mean, unless we went on a guided crane hunt, I just don't think that opportunity would ever really came along and presented itself. So I mean, in that sense, it's really cool. And I mean, Texas is awesome. You can't beat it. There's little 5-10s that come and hit it like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. If they actually like try to land, they're gonna be from the bank into us. I mean, who knows what this fog is gonna do? But I mean, last time, so I've hunted this 3 times. 2 times it's been clear as can be, hardly any wind. The other time was literally just like this, and like you could hear them, and you'd see them there like this half around. And they just, but yeah, so. These are his goggles. I had to put like new lenses on like every couple hunts just because they get so scratched up. From our hunt the other day, he's got a couple scabs like underneath here. He's got some scabs, but he's the toughest dog I've ever met. And you know, when I got down here, I wasn't hunting him on cranes at first, and I started hunting cranes a lot more than I thought I was gonna. Towards like half, if not more, of my time down here is hunting cranes. So I gotta find something, and stumbled across these, and I was like, I'll give those a try. Man, he's my best friend. And I mean, like I've got, I don't know if you can see that scar right there. That was my first day crane hunting. I'd never really went and grabbed into this thing, stuck a claw up there, and I was like wide open, like super gluing it back together. I was like, imagine that going across his eye. Like, he's blind as a bat in 2 seconds. Pretty much everything is private. Like you can see like all these marked dots on here. That's all fields that we have like leases on. We got Mountain Lake over here to the east of us. And we got Rich Lake over here to the north. There's birds off both these lakes coming out to these fields all around here, feeding to different fields. So these are all super shallow saltwater lakes that the cranes all roost on. And see, those adults will have that red on their head like that. If we shoot a juvie, you'll see it won't have any red. And that's a smaller one too. I'm sure we'll shoot a couple that are bigger than that. A big adult like that that's still alive, it's like a straight up battle. Buddies, his dad actually had a friend's dog killed by a crane, so that was enough right there for me. Like, you see how like sharp that is there? Pretty much all you're gonna see down here is cranes and cranes and more cranes, unless there's just a random group of geese that come out of nowhere. But there's just the two major crane roosts right here in this general area, and thousands and thousands of cranes use them, and it's pretty awesome, especially if you've never hunted them or really seen them that much. Just the amount that you get to see every day down here is just so cool.
Right in front of us. Yeah, we got the knife over there. So it's like the size of like a snow goose-ish?
Yeah.
Coloration's like pretty much the same.
Yeah, real dark.
And how are you planning on cooking this?
Trial and error, man. If you kill it, you gotta figure out how to make it taste good. So I just cut that silver skin off, similar to a deer back strap. Makes it a little more tender.
So what's our seasonings here we got?
I like to use kosher salt, but just a coarse salt.
Oh, okay.
So,
Salt, pepper, garlic. medium rare to rare. They are great when people have the time to stay and hang out. We enjoy doing this and teaching.
Well,
Oh my god. That's amazing.
alright, I really gotta try
That's
some.
amazing. This is the ribeye of the sky.
It's like a fillet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Because the ribeye would be a little tough. Why don't you try one?
It's like, that's a fillet to me.
It really is.
Jordan's never had it like this. Jordan.
This is so tender. Like unbelievable.
With one of the longest fossil records of any bird, a 10-million-year-old crane fossil from Nebraska was found, but maybe from a prehistoric relative, or the direct ancestor of the Sandhill Crane. Apart from the opportunity to hunt a living dinosaur, they truly are a ribeye in the sky that rivals any wild game that meets the grill. Sandhill Cranes' large wingspans, typically 5 to 7.5 feet, make them very skilled soaring birds, similar in style to hawks and eagles. These massive birds migrate over 2/3 of the continent and as far as Siberia to the Gulf Coast of Texas. These birds frequently give a loud, trumpeting call that can be heard from miles away. A sound that will deeply resonate with any hunter and almost feels prehistoric.
awesome. All right.
What you think? You see all them? You see all them?
Can we shoot a juvies as Do you always smoke a cigar when you're making calls?
Not every day. Some days. If I'm drinking scotch, I'm definitely smoking a cigar. Hit that out of the bottle. There's no reason to cut it with water. My dad taught me, do not brag on what you make. You let somebody else do that. And I've always been that way. You'll never see me squawking about how good I did this or that. So I was a guy 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. I took Jack Nicklaus on a hunt. There it is right there. I was lucky enough between Kent and Rick Dunn to, the thing about Rick was he never told me exactly how to do something. He always gave me I always wanted me to learn it a certain way, which was, okay, try it this way. If that doesn't work, try it this way. Let me blow it. Yeah. And see what that does.
Yeah.
That it?
Yep.
It's a little shorter, so it might be, it's all pitched. They would buy it for a 16-day season. And I said, wait a minute. I said, this is where you guys are missing the boat. I said, a blue wing, a green wing, and a cinnamon hen all quite the same.
This marsh right here, it's a big peninsula that sticks down in the middle of the Anahuac Wildlife Refuge. We started hunting in about 77. I started hunting in 78.
So why are you taking it off your lanyard? Keep it on. Watch what green wings do when you blow this instead of a whistle.
Late in the season, you got to take those birds on, usually on the first pass, because they're smart. But, when I first started hunting this marsh, I was hunting about a mile north of here, in a little pond called a meat pond. Cows don't come down this far, but down here, just about all it is alligators and ducks.
Oh shit.
Mark. Oh, get it. There we go. Back.
That cuts the pressure out.
I said, they ignore a whistle. They'll
respond to that.
You bet. They'll respond every time.
Atta boy. The hen canvas back. Yeah.
Birds need
Where's
a
the
habitat and they need food sources. They said by November 1st of this year, the Texas coast was already going to be in a negative for the amount of food to the quantity of birds we had. I go across the bay almost twice a day, right, moving a ship. And you can look in these spoil areas where they used to hang out and you'd see them in there. I'm like, man, the spoil areas are empty. No ducks in there. Like, we can't build land, right? You can do everything. You can add more habitat, quote unquote. You can't add what it was, right? Like, less light, there was less hunting pressure. Just because you see, there's not a lot of agriculture in the area. Even on this road, going back up, you're now seeing area being cleared. They're putting in some more neighborhoods, which will just lead to an expansion down here. Ultimately, they want food, so it gives them the habitat, and they don't want a whole lot of pressure. So as we take away those areas where they could go hide and rest and not have that pressure, they get concentrated with the same amount of people that are probably hunting in here with less rest area. I mean, if you were a duck, would you want to hang out there? I'd want to look for something with a little more ease. What you got to do, you got to adapt. You can't live in the past.
Well, this is a Harlequin special.
Arkansas is now was this 20 years ago. So total out here is 28,000 acres. My great-great-grandfather, his name is Rufus Homer Hancock, R.H. Hancock. I want to say it was the 40s. And he bought this whole place for a ridiculously cheap amount of money because you can't grow anything out here. It's so sandy, but rice flourishes for some reason here. They never leased it out for duck hunting. Only the family would duck hunt. I mean, there's been a few actors that actually come out here and hunt. What's his name? He's from Lonesome Dove. Ricky Schroeder, yes. He actually came out here and hunted a couple times.
We got it pretty much almost to a finish point. So now what we're gonna do is just shape it a little more. Well, it's 90 miles from right here. You know what pond y'all are at tomorrow? I'll flip it. I'm gonna do this side. All right, you ready? Just take that steel wool and get that boat arc really hot. And voila, a really hot teal call. Wow. You gotta beat that one. All right, so there we go.
As long as I've been out here, I actually lived here in high school. My parents sold our house in El Campo and we moved out here, so the current dog I have, I bought her while I lived here. We go hunt before school and then I drop it back off at the house and go to town, go to school. Here. Here. He's like, we gotta go. Back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, whatever it was, all the rice they've had throughout here was just ridiculous. I mean, the majority of the birds, they were here. I mean, yes, Arkansas had snow geese, but whenever this was rice, it was just phenomenal.
Sure, thank you. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
80% of North America's redhead population will winter along the Texas coast and can number as high as 700,000 birds, and is a spectacle every waterfowl hunter should see. The redhead is a medium-sized diving duck, weigh between 2 to 2.5 pounds, migrating from their breeding grounds as far as northern Canada, as well as other established breeding areas throughout North America. Their wintering grounds extend along the southern coast of the United States, down to Mexico, Guatemala, Cuba, and finally, the Bahamas.
15 yards off the point, you know, like out right here, come to about right here.
When I come out here, I like coming and hunting the salt late December into January. Birds are real pretty. The bluebill plume out a little more, and the redheads just get huge cherry head on them. Look for that big solid black line on their chest. We've got lessers, greater bluebill, squawk. The redheads, obviously. We get buffleheads pretty decent. Every now and then we'll find a goldeneye roll through here. If you're on a good number of buffleheads, go buy a lottery ticket if you find a goldeneye out here, but it does happen. And then, man, out here, you never know what you're gonna shoot. Like, we got pintail, widgeon. I mean, I've killed gadwall, blue wings, green wings out here. All mallards. I mean, all kinds of stuff. After a stiff north wind, you never know what's gonna get pushed out here. Yeah. My favorite days to hunt the bay, or hunt our salt, is like a day after a stiff north wind. And you'll find all kinds of stuff out here. Redhead on the left, big old. Down. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy chasing puddles, but something about a diver, right here. Bunch of divers.
I kind of wish we would have had a GoPro in the car facing me on the way here, and we started seeing those first rafts of redheads. Like 100 here, 500 here. That was speed.
That front bird's bad. Oh, that's a Mac Daddy right there. They're really cool birds. It doesn't hurt that they just decoy filthy. They're either gonna do it or they're gonna fly by 300 yards away. I mean, like right now, you know, now this wind kicked up a little bit. They give you 45 seconds, it seems like, to pick out the perfect one, you know? So like, here's another kind of crazy thing. Like, I've killed a surf scoter out here. I know of surfs, commons, and white wings, old squaw. Hell, there was a king eider just killed on the rice prairie like 2 months ago. Right, that bird was way lost. I've killed wood ducks out here. Like 30-mile-an-hour north wind blows in and you're like, are those teal? Those are wood ducks. I mean, I know I said it earlier, but like, I owe every one of my really good friendships to ducks. I mean, I've got 4 or 5 like really solid friends, and some of us don't even live in the same state. And it's all because of ducks. I grew up a deer hunter. You know, South Texas, deer hunting is a huge thing. And my dad worked oil field, so he'd be gone a lot. I got to that age where like all I wanted to do was hunt, right? I wanted to go hunt on the weekends, kind of like self-taught duck hunting. I've got a really good buddy whose uncle is an awesome taxidermist, and he was kind of the guy that I would blame for instilling the fire in me. He told me he'd take me. I think I was like 10, 11. You know, they'd take me and another buddy duck hunting, but we had to know and be able to identify on book all 41 species of waterfowl in North America. Like, you've got to know your difference, right? And I think that's awesome because like education in this sport is so important. You don't want to like mislead people, the public, right? You don't want them to get a false idea of what hunters are. Go to the jewelry store. Welcome to Texas, boys! Look at that, man. Get that vest on.
The Laguna Madre and the sheer number of ducks giving it up to the decoys was an astounding sight, causing severe lightheadedness, heart palpitations, uncontrollable arm and leg shakes, also known as buck fever.
I can honestly say my favorite part about it probably is watching y'all's reaction, right? Like, and the thing that reinstills that is seeing y'all's guys' reactions to it, and you're like, man, we are pretty damn lucky.
How would you describe the Texas waterfowler?
Oh, we're a cult. So I mean, the Texas has just so much to offer. That's the thing about Texas, is it is so diverse. You know, out west you've got the cranes and the geese and the peanut fields and the dry field hunting stuff. Where y'all just came from, you've got the rice. You know, you hunt rice fields. The teal get crazy. Like, you could spend a week down here and it would still be, like, in all of Texas, it'd still be hard to get everything done. Y'all done a pretty good job at it. About chasing waterfowl, not even like to get specific about the 41, just traveling to chase waterfowl, is the journeys that it has taken me on and the people that I've met. There's so many things out there that I have seen because of I'm going on a waterfowl hunting trip that I never thought imaginable. Just, I'd rather die with $1 million worth of memories.
From hunting delicious dinosaurs on the prairie to the vibrant redhead of the Gulf Coast and all the fine folks that hosted along the way, Planet Texas was an incredible adventure. From all of us at Hunt 41, this is American Waterfowl.